Howdy everyone, this is Mopbot, this is the Diamond Society, and welcome back to episode number 112. Look at that shot behind me, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love how this turned out. We were working here in the last episode. We are at the Nordic village, Mottlantis. We built this river, we built up the luscious greenery around it, and that is absolutely looking fantastic, I think. We put some vines on the wall as well to break up the gray, and now they're kind of taking over everything. So the wooden beams are starting to get out of control here. I already had to cover up the tunnel, and we've still got some vines growing inside. I don't really know how to control vines all that well. I don't also really know how they grow. I don't know if they can grow up, down. I believe they can, but I'm not 100% on that. I really haven't been watching that closely. So if they keep going, they keep going. But right now I'm pretty happy with where they're at. I just don't want them to take over everything. But I think it looks pretty good right now. I'm really happy with that. I love doing this greenery stuff, this kind of natural looking area. Speaking of which, we also did this. Bushes, mushrooms, trees, whatnot. We filled in the gaps here, and that goes all the way over here. We're going to be doing this more. We've already done it a bunch, and that is really going to add a lot of detail to the area. It makes it feel very full, and it also just adds to that kind of beauty aspect, which I absolutely love. So this is new as well. This is the Mead Hall. I looked that up at the end of last episode. That is the official name for it, is the Mead Hall. This thing is big. It is definitely big. It's bigger than anything else around it. It's probably the second biggest building we have here. The storage building up there probably being number 1. But it's going to be pretty close, actually. This isn't much smaller than that. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's take a look inside. It's looking pretty good, I think. We need a little bit more, but I'm not quite sure what. I'm thinking maybe tables on the side, add some flowers or something, but I think we just need a little bit more detail. Don't get me wrong. I love the red, I love the brown, I love the greens, but I think we just need a little bit more, because when it comes down to it, it's basically just a table with some chairs, some leaves, and a couple of banners. However, up here, if I can get up here, let's see how we're going to do this. Let's come over here. This looks pretty good, I think. This is probably the best sort of attic area, rafters, whatever you want to call it, that I've done so far. We've got chandeliers. We've got wall sconces. We've got extra banners. We've got extra beams going across. We've got more intricate windows. We've got more windows. That's a good shot of it right there. Yeah, that goes up. We got paintings up here. This is definitely my favorite area up here that I've done so far. Unfortunately, we can't really see it from the bottom, so we're probably going to have to remove some of these logs and make it just a little bit easier to see. I don't know. Maybe. We'll figure it out in the future, though. We're not going to be working over here today. We're going to be heading over to Mottlantis. We've got plenty of work to do over there. Again, much beauty to be had. I'm very much looking forward to that. We didn't get to build in this area in the last episode, but here we are. Mottlantis currently standing in the storage room. This is all we've actually completed so far, really, apart from the 2 fish tanks up there that spawn all of the guardians. But let's take a look up here. We haven't done really any work on this layer yet. We have a couple of tubes and some cactus, and that's about it. These pillars here, we've got gaps between them. We haven't completed the floor between them. We got some over here that didn't even generate all the way. We're going to be fixing that. We're going to be rebuilding all of these pillars. We're going to be bringing the floor through, adding some walls in between them. We are basically turning this into one massive fort. We're going to make this completely solid around the bottom. No more gaps, no more just kind of legs everywhere, I guess is the best way to describe it right now. It's basically just a big spider. And if we come up here, this is also flat. We may not get to up here, or we may in this episode. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how many blocks we're going to need. It's going to be a lot, though, and I'm definitely going to have to spend some time collecting resources for that. So down below, we're going to get all that going, and then up here, we're just going to continue and continue and continue. And by the end of it, this thing is going to be one massive fort. It's basically just going to be an incredible castle. These also need to get introduced over here at some point. I completely forgot I actually still had those floating out there. We'll worry about that later, though. Trying to envision what this is going to look like. It's going to be beautiful. We've got plenty of work to do, like I said. We got plenty of blocks still to gather. I know we still have plenty of blocks left over from when we dismantled the original Guardian Temple, whatever it's called, Ocean Monument. Yeah, we've still got some prismarine blocks left over. Okay, we've got a lot of prismarine blocks left over. And we've also got plenty of regular prismarine. So that's not all we're going to need, though. We're introducing some new blocks as well, some colorful blocks. Very much looking forward to this. Let's see what we can come up with. We are in good shape here with these pillars. I tried to make it look like they're kind of supported now with the dark prismarine going up and then also peeks past it like that. So it kind of looks like it's supporting the floor as well, trying to make it look very structurally sound. This will also play into the rest of the build once we get everything up top sorted out there. The bottom, though, I'm really pleased with. I like how those lights look. We have the prismarine lamps behind the white glass, and it gives a very kind of pristine, clean look, which I really, really like. Almost kind of like a futuristic, but not quite there yet feel. I'm not 100% sure how to describe it, but on the insides here, we're going to take some of this cyan terracotta, and now that I'm looking at it, we probably don't have nearly enough, but we're going to have a layer of this right here. In fact, I don't think I can reach the top, so it's going to go around like this, and then on the inside, we're going to have some of this prismarine cobble stuff. If I can even hit the block. There we go. So it's going to look like that. It's going to be at this height, and we'll fill this in as well, the floor there. So it's going to be like that. We're adding some grays now, and that's going to kind of detract a little bit from having such the sharp corner between the dark prismarine and the lighter stuff. To have some more dark stuff in there will be really helpful, I think. Behind this, so at this layer right here, we're going to have some of that prismarine cobble, as I mentioned, but we're going to mix in some concrete, probably green and blue. I think that'll probably be the best mix. We got blues and greens all over the place, so that'll probably be the most natural thing to mix in there. Maybe we could play around with some oranges. The Guardians are green and orange, so maybe oranges wouldn't be too bad. I'll have to see, though. That might happen or it might not. I'll open it up in a test world and see what looks best. But for now, green and blue is the plan. That's going to go all the way around. And since we actually have these back one, we're going to have a little lip, so we'll probably have to do this as well, I'm thinking. Which means we're definitely not going to have enough of this terracotta, clay, whatever you want to call it. I think it's been renamed to terracotta. It has. So, yeah, we probably have about half as much. I think I had just enough to do one layer. So it'll be something like that. We're going to bring the floor in here as well, and then we'll add some more stuff on the inside to make this look much more complete. So as it would turn out, this area is actually not 100% mob-proof. If we go in here, now I was going to AFK in here because I wasn't sure just how mob spawnless this would be out here. So I was in here AFKing. About 30 seconds later, I heard myself getting attacked. Turns out, mobs can spawn inside of cobwebs. Did not know that. So, hidden torch right there. You cannot see that from anywhere out there. Does light up the last little bit. I was very confused for a while. Thought maybe at first it was just a fluke. Then realized cobwebs are spawnable. So you're not seeing that torch. Maybe you are just a little bit right there. But you know what? That redstone torch right there, I don't think it makes a big difference. For over here, I think it's completely gone. It is completely gone because this is in the way. So we're pretty much good with that. I could really go back in there and probably find a little bit better way to hide the light, but I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I was a little bit scared that maybe something could spawn around here. Never found one mob out here. However, I still put this in here. Little AFK spot. Just in case. I figure, why take the chance? Not gonna lose all of this. So definitely better, I think, just to have that, even though, like I said, 100% never seen one mob around here. Anyway, we got some walls in. We have some walls in. I think it's looking pretty good. This is the design I decided to go with. So still with the cyan, and then with the green, this is the lime green, and the, I think the cyan as well. So a little bit lighter than I originally planned, but I think this fits in with the prismarine blocks around it much, much better. It is raining right now as well. This circle is huge. I'm just realizing. So this looks fantastic, I think. I really, really like the gray next to the dark prismarine. On the inside, as you saw, it looks pretty good as well. And if we pop around the side here, yeah, and then we just get these things like poking out by one block. This is just very, very, very pleasing. We also filled in the floor around it, or the ground, and out here we've got the end stone going all the way over, but on the inside, all of these are just sand, and there's a very good reason for that. There is water behind that, so not only are we not going to have to worry about any spiders or anything spawning down there because it's filled with water, we can also put sugarcane right here. We're going to do that just to fill up some of this area. Right now, it's looking pretty empty. It looks good, but it looks empty, and we're going to put some sugarcane in there to fill it up around that height, I'm thinking, and it'll be almost kind of like a wave-like pattern. So we'll have, you know, like, maybe it'll be this tall, then this tall, then this tall, then up there, and then continue over here, and we'll have this nice kind of flow going all the way around. It's going to look pretty good, I think. I'm very excited for it. I hope I have enough sugarcane. I've got a lot of it back at the Nordic village, so we may run out. That is very possible. If we do, it's not a big problem, though, because having all the sugarcane around, obviously, we could just grow it right here and then break it down and put it back in there. And eventually, at some point, we are going to have a sugarcane farm around here. So as we start to use that as decoration more and more, we're going to have a very, very big supply of it. Nothing spawning in the tanks right now. But yeah, everything is looking pretty good. I think we're also going to move these beacons over here. Not quite sure where I wanted to put them until about now. I just realized we have one block of space right here. Now, I don't actually know that now I'm saying that we're going to have the room because we might have a roof over that. I'll find out. I'll do some thinking and see if we maybe want to put them right here just to hide them next to the staircase. The room back here has expanded again. If we go ahead on in here, it's a lot more than just 2 blocks. We've got the furnace room upstairs in here. We've got all of our chests that have our random items in it. This is all in here, and our bed as well. I have yet to actually sleep in this bed, however, so I'm hoping this wasn't the last one I slept in. Otherwise, we no longer have a spawn point, so that could be an issue. But anyway, if we come on out here, everything is looking very clean up there. If we come on up and peep around the corner here, boom. Nothing over there. Absolutely fantastic. The beacon is gone as well. You can see that these are now split up into 2 right here. And in order to put them where they are, I had to cut back on the ceiling / floor. It's going to be both, but we had to cut back on that a little bit. We got this sort of V shape going here now. I'm really, really fond of that. Turns out it wasn't going to work if I put it over here because we are going to have a ceiling over there. So that definitely would have been a no-go. Here, I think it looks really nice. We walk in, we get that right there. We have all the effects that we really need. We don't even really need either of those 2, but just to have 4 beacons, why not? We're not really going to be doing much digging either, so haste 2, again, probably didn't need it. All we really needed was speed and jump boost to get around faster. But if we come along the back, I think we have those effects all the way up until around here. And then just this little part across the back is an issue as well. So looking at this, as long as we're back here, I've done this all the way around, added these prismarine, dark prismarine stairs up there. We get this kind of arch feel, which is really nice. And we've also added these nether fences with the end rods. And yeah, you can see the effects went away now. So that just works really well, I think. The dark nether brick works nicely against the gray, and it looks nice against the green as well. The end rods, they fit in pretty nicely. The other white light, the sea lanterns being the first one. So having those right next to each other adds a little bit of variance, and I think that really, really works well. So everything's looking very, very good so far, I think. And if we come over here, this right now, that's empty. And I think the last thing that we're going to want to do is up there, we need something. We need some kind of design to fill up the ceiling right there and just add that last bit of detail so that we don't have this big block of green from down here. I would also like to point out that there is a lot of precious material under here. Iron, mostly. We pretty much ran out of that, so luckily enough, we had loads of gold because we used the gold farm for XP to repair all of our gear, and we got a bunch of gold as a byproduct, so I was able to finish both of these stacks with some gold blocks. But there is a lot underneath here. Quite a bit more than we had before when we had these 2 combined into 1. And this might be totally cliche, but there's a guardian face staring down at us. I actually really like this. It fills up the area pretty well, I think. It's actually visible from both the top and the bottom. I brought the bottom down a little bit so you can see it pokes out like that, adds a little bit of extra dimension. But up here, where it's the floor, we left it flat. The only thing is that there are a couple of carpets poking up. We got some light underneath there. Usually I would use sea lanterns, but the orange light underneath the red carpet gives a little bit more of a yellowish glow, which I think is a little bit more fitting for the red carpet over it versus that white light. Totally small difference. Probably won't make any difference really at all when you're actually walking past it, but it's something I noticed, and I'm gonna keep it like that. So yeah, we're flat up here. You can see that it also reverses the eye, so the eye is facing you no matter where you are. If you're down here, you're looking right at it, and if you're down here, there it is again, looking right at you. So the eyebrow switches places. Very small thing, but yeah, it doesn't make a big difference. Otherwise, you'd have an upside down guardian. You'd be looking at it like that most of the time, which isn't quite right. That looks a little bit derpy, but anyway, hopefully y'all have enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all next time.